You just never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
Right.
It's always something good. So
I'm excited. Hi, everyone. My name's Shauna Martinez. I'm a triple diamond, and I am so excited. Yes, it's recording. Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys. I know it's late, so already shout out to everyone that's on here that it's this late and you guys are taking the time out to be on this Zoom is absolutely amazing. Natty, it's okay. We recorded it so you could send it to them. So I am so excited because if you haven't noticed yet, we have some incredible guests on our Zoom tonight. Oh my gosh. If you guys don't know them and are not following them on Facebook, these are our Ambassador Diamonds, the most amazing couple you will ever meet. And I'm going to burn breakfast for you guys again. Just wait. These are our Ambassador Diamonds, Chad and Jaree Canneller.
Hey, guys.
Hello, hello.
Well, we're super excited to be able to come in here and pour into you guys and just love on you. I know that it was a bit of a shocker to find out that Leah was leaving. We were just as shocked as the rest of you. We found out the same way that you all did. And I know sometimes that can instill a little bit of fear and doubt. And we just want you to know from us that we are here. We are lifers. We're not going anywhere. And that whole thing didn't shake us at all. If anything, it's drawn us closer together in the business.
Yeah, we're just as excited now as we were 5 years ago. You know, we just celebrated our 5-year anniversary with It Works on July 27th. So it's been 5 years. It's flown by. And I always heard, you know, before we got in it, I've believed for a long time that you can completely change your life in 3 to 5 years. I've always heard that. And that was definitely the case for us and definitely the case for so many people that are in this company. And, you know, every time I get the opportunity to have a conversation with Mark Pentecost, the CEO, or his wife, Cindy, I get more excited.
I have a terrible Zoom.
It's almost like signing up again. You know, you guys ever go to like a meeting and you get so inspired by somebody that talks there, you're like, man, I just want to sign up again, right? Well, I had the chance to go to corporate recently and just sitting there for over 30 minutes talking to Cindy Pentecost just about, you know, what's going on in the company and what she's praying for specifically, and just to hear her heart, and then to sit there and look in Mark's eyes, and Mark's like, we're not competing with other network marketing companies. He's like, we're not looking to just be up in the top 10. He's like, we're looking to compete with Amazon, with Apple, and be as well known as companies like that. And so he's already thinking well beyond. I mean, he's thinking about putting systems in place where corporate supports us by pouring into our loyal customers and upselling our loyal customers and just taking care of them so that the retention for the overall company goes up. So there's just things in place that are happening all the time that's just going to make this company better and better and better. And just to hear, you know, I had a chance to have dinner with a guy that was one of the core people who started with Mark. Like this guy that I had dinner with was, his name's Steve Radius. And he was literally one of the guys that he was the only full-time employee at one point for It Works. Like you had the Doug Nooney, who's the money guy. He would go work his job as a school teacher and he'd get off work and he'd come volunteer for a while. And Mark came in to Steve one day after years after starting It Works, and he said, hey, man, I'm going to have to cut your pay in half. And there was even a season where some people who were getting paid weren't getting paid, and Mark put a second mortgage on his house. I mean, I heard from Pam the other day that they had 3,000 distributors that joined, and they all quit. Like all of them quit for years. They would join and quit, join and quit, join and quit, join and quit. And they kept going and going and going. And then finally they got, you know, into the Rusty Lackey and the Melody McFarland organization, and things just started to pop, and then they got bigger and they got bigger and they got bigger. So what's so exciting for me today is that this opportunity has gotten so much better because we have so much credibility. I mean, I was talking to a guy on the phone today, and I'm like, hey, man, if you want, I can get a former NFL player on the phone to tell you why he uses It Works. I can get a world champion kickboxer to explain why he uses It Works products over any other product with any other company. I mean, you would think those kind of athletes, would know what they're doing, you know, because I'm sure they get they have stuff thrown at them and recommended to them all the time. And there's just so many amazing aspects about this company. What I call one percenters, because some of you might not know this, but this is my 5th network marketing company. Like, I did all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, I was pouring stuff in the fuel tank so the car would go better and slinging that stuff, you know. I was trying to sell my parents some breast spray and toilet paper back when I was 20. I mean, I was just like, I saw this whole idea of this industry, and I'm like, man, it works. I was just talking, I like 3 or 4 three-way calls today. And I love telling people that the minute you start, you can get paid 5 different ways. I mean, for me, that's like having 5 jobs, only it's only one job, and you're just receiving money 5 different ways. So there's so much about this with having no ceiling. And so what it really boils down to, and kind of the message I guess I want to give you guys tonight, is that whatever you can believe in your mind, whatever you can truly believe, you can achieve with this company. Like, if it's debt-free, easy. If it's, you know, having your house paid off and paying your parents' house off, you can do that too. If it's taking 5 vacations a year instead of 1 vacation every 5 years, you can do that too. So what I always challenge people to do is figure out what the perfect life looks like for you, and know that up front. Because once you can imagine that, which I call conceiving it, you know, you have to conceive it first, right? And then you believe it, and then you can achieve it, because it all kind of works in that order. So imagine what your perfect life would look like, and then figure out what that is, and believe that it's possible for you. Find some people. I listened to a podcast last night by Dave Ramsey, and all he did was he interviewed people who were millionaires, right? And the point he was making is that a lot of us think that you've got to be a professional athlete. You've got to be a movie star. You know, you've got to be someone who just won the lottery, right? Or got lucky. And I was listening to these people, and one guy was only 48 years old, and most of them never made over $100,000 to $200,000 in a year. A lot of them that are millionaires made $50,000 to $80,000 a year. They were just savers, you know, and they just invested money, and they did some different things along the way. So that's some of the stuff you're going to be hearing from us too, is just how, you know, once you find success with It Works, is how you can grow your income. You know, it's becoming debt-free first, and then growing your income. But I always go back, one of my favorite guys, and if you're looking for some personal development, you can never go wrong with Jim Rohn, right? Jim Rohn is the man, the myth, the legend, and he's just an incredible, incredible guy. And he always said, well, he was in front of like 2,000 people, and he had everyone memorize this. And so when I listened to these CDs, I was like, it's important enough. He never says to memorize anything. So if he says to memorize something, out of all the knowledge in his head, which is like enough knowledge for 50 people's heads, like he says to memorize this one thing, that I should memorize it. And so I think this is huge. And what he said was, from testimonials and personal experience, we have enough information to conclude, right, that it's possible to design and live an extraordinary life. So here's what I love about that. And that is so applicable to It Works, because in It Works, you've got 100 plus ambassador diamonds. You know, average pay, 30-some thousand a month, right? 100 plus. So, and there's some that have been ambassadors for a long time. There's some that went ambassador this year. So what you have is all these people are ambassadors. And the great thing is none of them got any special treatment at all. They all started off on day one as a distributor. They all had their first day they signed a customer. Their first day they signed a distributor. The first day they helped someone on their team sign a distributor. They all had to go through this whole process. And I guarantee when you meet them, if they were to all line up and they were to all tell you their story, there'd be at least 10 of them that you would look at them and go, if she did it, I know I could do it. Because you would think, she's more shy than I am, or, you know, she doesn't have as much education as I do, or she has way more kids than I do. So you would look at there and all your excuses would disappear, because you would say, if she did it, then I know I could do it. So my message for you guys today is that you can all do it. I mean, but the fact that out of Shauna's team and all the people she invited that you guys got on here, that's a huge plus in the first place, because that means you guys are showing up.
Yep.
That's an important part. You got to show up. So I don't know if Jaree wanted to share some stuff, but
well,
we want to answer
was
questions.
just texting with Shauna. So Shauna, where do you want us to go? We'll just kind of, and we'll just do the new style. Whatever you want us to answer, we'll answer. What you got for us?
I just want to say I have two brand new distributors, Lisa and Tatiana. I see you girls, and I'm so proud of you guys for getting on here. So one of my questions was a tip for new distributors, like they just got started. What is like your best tip for them?
Okay, so first of all, girls, I want you to start messaging people every single day, and you need to make that part of just your to-dos every single day. A great place to start is to go into your Messenger app and then click people and then start in the A's and just start messaging through. Shauna can give you some great messages that you can send out that are very warm, that sound very personal to each one of your prospects. And you just want to start talking to people. I think one of the biggest mistakes that brand new people make is that they come in and, for social media's sake anyway, they're just posting. They're posting and posting, but they're not actually going in and asking people if they're interested in joining their team, asking them if they're interested in trying some of their products. And so it's important for you to get out of your comfort zone and start messaging right away. Montana's power hours that she's been doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday are freaking amazing. And it'll get you out of your comfort zone. It gets you messaging. I think one of the first things that you've got to do is learn to get over the fact that you're going to get rejected. Unfortunately, that's part of this business, whether it's face-to-face, over the phone, on Facebook, Instagram. We're gonna feel that rejection, but it's important not to let that affect you, because at the end of the day, we as distributors can't get emotionally attached to somebody's decision. All our job is to collect the yes, the no, or the maybe. That's it. And over time and consistency, loyal customers and distributors will come. Also, if you haven't scheduled a launch party, you need to get a launch party immediately. And I love whenever somebody will schedule 2 launch parties back to back, like maybe one in the same week or 2 in a weekend, so that your guests have an option to come to the first one. And then when they don't show and they're like, oh, I couldn't make it for this week. Oh, no, it's okay. It's totally fine, because now I'm actually having another one on Thursday night. So you can come in. And you know what? Eventually they're not going to want to keep putting you off. So they'll show up to one of these launch parties. So it's just going. You got stuff you want to add?
Sure. Two things that I want to say on this topic. Number one is steps to success. That's the blueprint. And the simplicity of that is, step one is join the party. In month 2, that step 1 would just be make sure you're running your auto ship, make sure that you're using the products, so you're becoming a product of the product. Step 2 is enroll 4 loyal customers. So when you do that in your first 30 days, you're going to get that $100 shopping spree, which is awesome, because you can use that for product, you can use it for clothes, you can use it for tools, whatever you want to use it for. And then that third step is go Ruby. Ruby is the first foundational rank. That's when you begin to really separate yourself from the masses. That's when someone goes Ruby, we know they're serious. When someone hits that Ruby level, it's like, okay, we know this person is serious, they're teachable, they've been implementing what we've asked them to do, and now they've promoted the level of Ruby. So that's a huge, huge milestone to hit. And that's what you want to do, step 1, step 2, step 3, every single month. So there's actually in your document library, you can print off the steps to success worksheet. And you want to put that somewhere where you're going to see it every day, because you're thinking, oh my gosh, I need to fill this out. I need to have my 4 customers on there every month, my 3 distributors. And then when the month's over, you print off a brand new one. And if you get in the habit of doing it weekly, all you're going to do is speed up your success. You're going to speed up the process. And it's possible. There's quite a few people in It Works that will complete the steps to success on a weekly basis. But at a minimum, your goal should be monthly, because what I can tell you is, I'm assuming since you guys are on a Zoom at 11 o'clock our time, right? 9 o'clock your time, that you're serious and you're wanting to go past $500 or $1,000 a month. So if you want to get to what I tell everyone is double diamond level, then you need to put a year together where you did your steps to success monthly. And that's what you can control. See, as you start building your team, you can't really control what your distributors that join are going to do or not do. Just like Mark couldn't when the first 3,000 signed up and quit, right? He couldn't control them or force them to stay. We can't do that. So we have to keep going, keep searching until we find people who see this like you guys do. And they're all out there. We just got to keep on going and keep on searching. So that's number 1. Number 2, I love talking to new people, because it's like everything's a new discovery. If you're new you don't know all the products that we have yet. And if you've heard the names, you don't know the benefits of the products. So you can go into your document library and there's product information sheets on every product. So print those off. And as you read each one, you're going to naturally think of people who need that right now. Like you're going to be reading Relief and go, oh my gosh, this could help with arthritis. My grandma deals with that right now. She has a hard time picking things up and she can't even make a fist when she wakes up for a long time. You're thinking grandma could use that right now. You're going to think, I've got 3 friends that are stressed out all the time. When I talk to them, all they talk about is how stressed they are. And I know these 3 ladies would love our Confianza. So make sure that as you're learning each product, you're thinking in your head, you're jotting down a few names, and then that gives you a specific product that you can talk to with that person when you bring up It Works. Because like Jaree said, you know, the best situation to be in is when people ask us, right? I mean, it'd be kind of nice just to put your It Works shirt on and just walk around town for 5-6 hours and just making sure everybody can read it and just waiting for them to go.
And some people
hey,
will.
you,
some
hey,
people
you.
will do that. Some people
They will.
come up to you, but that's not the norm.
Yeah, that's more rare.
You have to actually seek those people out.
Yeah, so when you make a post on Facebook, first of all, only a percentage of whoever your friends are, whoever's following you is actually even going to see them. So, of course, we love making posts because people are going to like those posts, are going to comment on those posts, and those are definitely great leads where we can reach out and say, thanks for if they like it, you can say, thanks for the love on my post. So are you interested in what I do? And that gets the conversation going, which is what you want. Or they just reach out and say, tell me more, tell me more. But you can't just wait. You don't want to be in a situation where you're waiting and hoping that someone will knock on your door and ask, can I get a wrap from you? So you do those things, but at the same time, like Jaree said, you're messaging people, you're sorting, you're letting people know, hey, are you in or are you out? Do you want to know about these or not? Are you working on health or are you not working on health? Do you keep your income options open?
One of the main things that I did, especially in the beginning, was, okay, so let me just set this up for you. When I got started in the business, we had just got stationed at Fort Campbell. Chad was in the military, and I had 0 friends. We had still not found a church. We had nobody in this town, okay? And all my friends and family were 4.5, 5 hours away from us. And I still, my first month, was able to put 50 wraps on actual people. Okay, and that's because I was so excited about the results I got from my wrap. So you guys, it's so important not only that you're putting the wrap on yourself and taking pictures and using those results pictures to show people in your sphere of influence, but also that you're putting the wrap on people. When I put 50 wraps on 50 different tummies and saw 50 different types of results, by the end of month 1, I was so sold out for this company because I knew that my product worked. Now, I had some people on the first wrap that they didn't see much of a result. I had some people that bloated, but close to 80 to 90% of them had a visible result. So there wasn't anybody after that first month that could say anything to me that our product was a scam that would rock me, because I knew because I saw with my own eyes what this product can do. And so it's vitally important that you start using the products. You should be running that auto ship. Don't just get wraps on there. Start adding some supplements and different things that you can take. I took a bit of a break from taking all the supplements for probably the last year. I was consistent with my greens and the probiotic, but that was really it for me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start taking my ThermoFit and Fat Fighters, and I'm going to drink my shake every morning. And I've been doing that for a month. And in a month, I've lost 10 pounds. I've changed nothing else. My diet's the exact same. I'm just adding the ThermoFit, adding the Fat Fighters. I'm still taking the greens and the probiotic. Those are my staple products. And I've had insane results. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, why haven't I been taking this all this time? And you just remember when you're taking the products and you're a product of the product, you remember why you started and you remember why you're so passionate about it. And so make sure that you're adding stuff to your auto ship. If you're brand new and you're not sure what you should add, then ask your upline. Ask them, tell them what your health goals are, and they'll help you put together a package.
Yeah, wrapping people is so powerful. I'll never forget. And whenever we first got in this, I put the first wrap on Jaree, and 45 minutes later, I saw visible, measurable results. And I was excited. I was like, okay, this is good. It was good enough for us to sign up to be distributors, right?
Well, and I was so anti-network marketing at that point. That's what was totally crazy, I told Chad if he joined another network marketing company, we were probably going to end up in a divorce. And so when I decided that I wanted to join It Works after I tried the first wrap, he was like, yes. He was just so excited that I wanted to do network marketing.
I was like, finally, maybe this is the one. Number 5, right? But it was so much fun. But here's what got me, though. So my sister came into town, and she thought the wrap, first of all, was like a chicken wrap, right? She's like, and then she's like, you're not putting that stuff on me. And we're like, just shut up and you're our guinea pig. Let us wrap you, right? We wrapped her. She bloated. She was not happy.
Well, because she was drinking wine and not water.
Yeah.
Doesn't work as good.
She did drink some water that night, and the next day she woke up and her mind was so blown and her results were so extreme that she was basically crying. And she went from no interest, this is a bunch of hoopla, I'm never
burn out from the industry.
She was burnt out already from another company she was in for years and just struggling through that company. Not going to happen. I mean, she looked at us in the face, not going to happen. And what that wrap did to her stomach changed her mind so fast where she was like, I'm not a good friend if I don't tell my friends about this.
Yep.
I have to sign up. And so she signed up and bought a bunch of extra stuff. And I was like, whoa. So that was that. And then Jaree's mom, who's like, kind of back then she was kind of like Negative Nelly kind of deal. She had tried everything under the sun and was eating clean and doing all this stuff. And she didn't think it could do anything. And she tried to wrap and she bloated.
Well, she bloated. She bloated too, but then the next morning, oh my gosh, her results were insane.
Crazy.
So we had that. We were able to see that. And so we took that and ran with it. We were ignorance on fire. I had no clue what I was doing. My upline did not live local to me. I didn't have anybody to help me with my first wrap party. I didn't have anybody help me with my first wrap session. I just was excited and I just went to work. And so I love social media. I've built probably over 90% of my business on social media. But I built my first month, I went emerald. It's because I wrapped 50 people. I hadn't even touched social media yet at that point. The second month, I went diamond. I wrapped another 50 people. It was all face-to-face. It was all word of mouth. So it's important that not only you use social media, but you have those wraps on your hand. You probably have at least one box on your auto ships. You guys need to be wrapping people. I'm telling you, if you're feeling like you're in a funk, you're feeling like you're just not passionate about this business, you haven't wrapped anybody in a long time. That's the bottom line. All you have to do is get out there and put a wrap on someone, and I promise you, you will get excited again, because it's impossible to not get excited whenever you see those amazing results.
Yeah, picture paints 1,000 words. So
Tina, you can bloat when you smoke. It's very common. Most people that bloat are people that drink a lot of alcohol, drink diet soda. Oh my God, diet soda drinkers, sucralose, Splenda, Sweet and Low, any of those kind of people that use tons of artificial sweeteners, they bloat. And smokers, and wine, alcohol, that's it.
So here's a little tip too, and I think this is so important, because when a picture paints 1,000 words, and Jaree and I, with those initial pictures and all that, we were so excited. We were just like, oh my gosh. And anybody who saw those pictures, we just assumed they're at least going to try a wrap. And I would ask everybody, I would say, who do you know? So I like the indirect approach. If you're a guy and you're talking to a woman, it's a lot better than to say, who do you know, rather than, hey, how many of these do you want to try? Like, you need this right now, girl. I didn't want to risk getting smacked in the face in public and that kind of thing. So I would say, who do you know that would love to try this and see what kind of results they can get for just $25? And they'd be like, people be, grabbing their own stomach saying, I need a whole truckload of those, Sonny, or whatever. And so it was really, really cool to just go out and share that with everybody. And we started just getting people's friends that would come over, and everybody was just coming over to our house. And so it was so good. And then we transitioned just because for us, we're like, okay, we don't want to just have a local team. We want to have a team on the West Coast, a team on the East Coast, and a team in every state was kind of our goal. So we went to social media to do that. So
hopefully, Shauna, I know we kind of got off on rabbit trails, but it's important to have all those different facets when you're brand new. Like, don't just get stuck in one specific way. You need to be doing all of the things to really launch your business. So I know, Jen, you have some questions for us?
Yes, you guys are amazing. I just love you guys so much.
We love you.
Okay, so I got some questions from my team. The very first one that I got is, okay, so I feel like we all have life happen to us. Like I know a lot of people on here I can think of individually, like a lot of people are going through some major stuff in their lives right now. Like Danielle's got a baby, Meech is battling some a lot of issues. Lindsay's gone through, like we've all gone through some major stuff in our lives. So one of the questions that I have from one of my girls is, she says that she's been trying to go for months and she has life happening to her right now. She's in a really, really rough spot, but it's not happening. She says, so how can I help motivate my team when I'm not as motivated? I feel like I can't lead by example since I'm not signing loyal customers and distributors. So yeah, my question would kind of be like, we all have life happen to us. Things are freaking crazy. So what would you say, like, to help somebody balance all of that and push forward and all that?
I would say again, it all starts with us. So there's no way if we're not in a good place, we can't help other people get in a good place. So we have to figure out how we're overflowing with happiness, and we're overflowing with peace, and we're overflowing. That way our cup has to be overflowing
Yep.
to be able to fill up other people. So that's the first thing. And part of being a leader, and I think anything in life, is figuring that out. We're so lucky and blessed to have Melody McFarland as our upline, as the first ambassador ever in the company. And if you guys ever get the chance to hear her story of how she did all this, you have to sit down and talk to her, because I want to tell you where she was at in life when she was going for triple, right? When she was fighting to become the first triple
Ever, and it works.
Her sister found out that she had end of
brain cancer, I think.
Like cancer. Yeah, it was really bad cancer. And so Melody, what she wanted to do was just say, hey, put my business on hold. I don't have to keep pushing my business. I want to just spend time with my sister and be here with my sister. And her sister was like, no. She was like, you were designed.
You were
born to do this. And this isn't about you. And this isn't about me. This is about all the people out there that are waiting for you to come talk to them.
All the lives.
This is about the lives that need you right now to help them grow and to help them continue to move forward. So based off that advice, Melody went and she did all, she continued with what she was planning on, and she ended up promoting to triple like shortly before her sister died, and then she celebrated and had a celebration with her sister kind of thing and all that. And so, and then another, she was pushing for like the next promotion. She had two people like died in her family, and she literally went to one funeral and then flew from there to go to another funeral. And the next day she had like a booth or something. So my whole point of this is that life happens to all of us. Life happens to all of us. Some is more extreme, obviously, and some less extreme. But we're going to have life. We're going to have plenty of things that happen to us that can become our excuse to not do our business, right? But I think it's important to first of all, you got to know what you want, and you got to know why you want it. We talk about the why all the time, but the why has to be strong, because you have to have some strong emotions attached to it. Because if you don't, it's too easy just to go, yeah, it's like, and then you just become like someone who set a New Year's resolution and is just like 2 weeks into it, you're like, I'm tired of waking up early and going to the gym. That's not that important. I'm just going to let it go. So same thing with this business, which is why very small percentage of people have massive success in anything in life, because those small percentage that have the massive success are the ones that go all in. They're the ones that say, I'm going to climb to the top of this mountain, or I'm going to be dead on the side of it. And it's crazy because, whenever you have that do or die attitude, when you say I'm going to do it or I'm going to die, it's like life, fate, and circumstance get together and they have a meeting and they say, hey, if we don't let her have this, she's going to die. So we might as well let her get it. And then you get it. And that's when you see these crazy stories, what we see is like the outside and they promote it or whatever. But what you don't see is what's going on. And what I can promise you is this emotional roller coaster. It's the same. Everybody goes through the emotional roller coaster. It's just like real small example is a couple days ago I said, Monday I'm going to the gym, right? I haven't been going to the gym for a long time. I'm getting early.
Long time.
I'm going to the gym. I'm like in the Army. I got up at, 5 o'clock every day for however many years. But when I got out, I was like, I'm throwing that electronic rooster away. I'm going to sleep till I'm done sleeping and I'll do whatever. So it was a battle for me. Like I had my alarm set for 5:30 and I woke up at 5:30 and I looked at it and I said, oh my gosh, it's too early. Bam, snooze, right? So, and then I hit snooze like 3 or 4 times. I'm sure I kept waking Jaree up. But finally at 6:30, I'm like, I got to do this. And I pulled my butt out of bed and made myself go. And that was just one little battle won in the whole entire thing.
Okay, so one thing that I would add to that, Jen, is did you say it was Danielle that said that? Danielle, who?
My name is Mari.
Mari. Okay. Mari. Okay, first of all, you not signing loyal customers and distributors does not mean that you're leading from the front. You can lead from the front by messaging people every day, by doing weekly wrap parties for your team. Like there's a lot of different things that you can do to lead from the front. Sometimes we all go through a dry spell where it's a sowing season, which means that you are sowing seeds. Like I've gone all month long. Okay. Let me just be transparent with you guys. All month long, I've been messaging people every day. I've been talking to people every day. I've been doing everything that I normally do. And I have not signed one person this month. This is probably the first month in my 5-year history that I haven't signed anybody. But guess what? I signed 82 people when we did the $9.99 thing. Most of us went through and we signed up all those people that we've been working on all this time, right? Because they were like, they jumped on it, $9.99, jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. And so now your funnel is empty. So now guess what? We're all in a sowing season, which means that we are planting seeds. And the sowing season is just as vital as the harvest. Right now, you got to keep this in mind. You can't lose heart right now because right now, everything that you're doing is going to count. 2 months from now, you're going to be reaping the harvest from what you're doing now. It's so important. And so many people end up freaking out and they're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to do anything because nothing's happening. But that's where the trap is. That's exactly where the trap is. And that's exactly where the enemy wants you. You have got to continue to sow no matter what. So being a leader doesn't necessarily equal signing loyal customers and distributors. Being a leader means that you're leading from the front by doing the activity, staying consistent, and not making excuses like the multitudes do. So I just really want to encourage any of you guys that are feeling that way, because guess what? Hello, I haven't signed anybody up this month, but you sure as heck won't find me feeling sorry for myself saying, I suck. I'm not leading anybody. I'm not leading from the front, because I know that I am working my business. So if you are working consistently every single day to your best ability, then you can hold your head high and your team will follow you. They will be so inspired by you. So what you've got to do to inspire your team, because we can't motivate our teams. Like you just can't rah, cheer, and then be inspired and motivated. You inspire them by your work, your action. So you say, okay, guys, I just messaged 30 people. How many of you messaged today? I just got 4 no's today. How many no's have you gotten today? It's all about your mindset, and you've got to shift your perspective and it not be about like, woe is me. I haven't been able to do ... And I get it. Life happens. We've had life happen. God, so many times we've had life happen in our 5 years in this business. And it happens. You have your pity party. You spend your time. And like Pam Souter told me, she said, Jaree, you had your pity party for 24 hours. Now you need to go in and get your biggest pair of white cotton Hanes, big girl panties, and pull them suckers up and get your butt back to work. That's the bottom line. We have to pull our big girl panties up and we go back to work. Whether you're in the sowing season or the harvest, it doesn't matter. You just have to stay consistent. So I'm not yelling. I get passionate when I talk, so I'm not yelling at you, Mari.
You know what really makes people feel good too? Like the best way to jump the funk, which is another word for get out of the funk, right? Get back on track with what you want, is to become productive.
Yep.
And just to think about how good you feel if let's just say before it works. On the days where you woke up early and you got ran some errands, you went grocery shopping, you got the house clean, you made dinner. At the end of the day, you feel good. You know why you feel good? Because you got some stuff done. You accomplished some things. You feel productive. I just read this book right here. It was really good. I read it in one night. It's called Make Your Bed, right? And the whole point of it was, if you're in military, you know, the one thing that you do, and the first thing you do in the morning, right when you wake up, is you make your bed, because you're already feeling a sense of accomplishment.
And guess what? Since he read that, we've been making our bed every morning.
We didn't make our bed for weeks, probably.
For years. We didn't make our bed.
When people came over, we would. That's why people weren't allowed over.
But that's the whole point. The whole point is that now we're doing it not just because someone's coming over, but because we literally feel so much more productive because we got up and we made our bed. Because it's the mind shift. I know this sounds crazy, but I work from my bed. Like, I will stay in bed all day long. He's like, "Are you going to come out?" And
I'm like, you're going to atrophy. Your body's going to atrophy.
Are you going to show us your presence today in the living room that's like 20 feet away? Or are you going to stay in bed all day? And I'll stay in bed all day. But what this is doing for me is it's just this mind shift where I feel like since I got that done, now I'm more apt to go do the laundry and get up and do stuff and get caught up on my messaging and not just sit there and scroll mindlessly through Facebook. It gets me in like, okay, I've accomplished this. I just accomplished making my bed, and now I need to accomplish the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So anyway, that book, I haven't read it, but just making the bed made a huge difference.
You know, and the why, I'll go back to the why real quick, because I really, this year I've thought even more about this, because we had a huge why, and then we're still exploring our next level of our why. You know, we're still coming up with what it is, because we were focused on me getting out of the Army because it was that important to us. It's almost like when you're passionate about something and you know where you're going and you have a plan and all that, you feel like you don't need sleep anymore, really. You're up early, you stay up late, and you're so excited to seize the day and attack the day. And, you know, that's a great mental place to be in. And the fastest way to get there is just to really know that you know where you're headed and to spend some time there. I mean, it took me a long time to figure out, you know, I don't know. We talked about, you know, it's so easy in the Army because the Army tells you where you're going to live. And finally, I'm getting out of the Army. We're like, where do we want to live? We're like, I don't know. And I was like, how about, you know, Massachusetts? Nope. Maine? Nope. So we started crossing off all the places we knew we didn't want to be. And we narrowed it down to Texas. Glad today that we're not in Texas, right? But Texas, Tennessee, and Florida. And we came up with these 3 states. And we started looking around, and we got excited about Lebanon, Tennessee. And so we were so excited, and that was an exciting phase of our life. You know, and then once you hit your goals, you have to redream. You have to redream again so you can break through to new levels. And so it's a constant process, and it's a learned behavior, this dreaming thing, right? Because we're not taught that in school. We're not taught to go after what we really are worth. We're taught to just kind of be thankful and just settle kind of where we're at and not, you know, dream bigger and go further.
Yeah. And one of the things that I'll just be transparent again with you guys is even as an ambassador diamond, I've had times where I just felt like my dreamer was broken. I'm like, I just forget to continue to strive for those new things and to be okay with wanting more, because sometimes we get to a certain place in our life and we're like, you know, is it bad that we still want more stuff? No, it's not. It's okay to continue to keep dreaming, because when you stop dreaming, your team stops dreaming. And so for me, when I get in that funk, my go-to person, it's always Jade Hooper. I will call her up and be like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I just need you. Like, why? What's wrong with me? And almost every single time she's like, you're not dreaming. Like, get a dream board. Like, you need to make a dream board. You need to write your goals down. You need to that's all you need to do is start dreaming again. And so if those of you are on here, if you feel like you've lost some passion, you know, maybe you need to go back to square one. Maybe you need to redream your dream board. Maybe it's time to put some new things on there. Maybe it's time that you got back to using the supplements consistently. Maybe it's time that you're putting wraps on people again. Maybe it's time that you do 3-way calls with your team. Maybe it's time that you start a weekly online wrap party. Maybe it's time for you to just start. I'll tell you what, sometimes when I get in a funk and I'm not doing anything, what I have to do to pull myself out of it is I force myself, even though it feels like a job, I force myself to start messaging, and I will message like 50 people in like less than an hour. And then within that hour, I start getting responses. And I don't know what it is about getting those responses. It just triggers this thing in me where I get excited all over again. I remember why, because for me, it's so fun to be the fisherman. It's so fun to throw the bait out there and dangle it and just wait for somebody to take that bite. And so it's so important that you continue to do the things that you know will grow your business, and you'll get excited again. I promise you. And it's normal. It's normal to feel like you're not passionate about something again. Every single ambassador in It Works has gone through seasons where they don't feel passionate, and it's just like, it's hard. Network marketing is hard. If it was easy, then so many more people would be doing it and being successful at it. And so anything worth having doesn't come easy. We've got to work for it, right? And so I just want to encourage you that if you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like you're unworthy of the next rank, you feel like you are no good because you lost a rank and maybe you haven't gotten it back yet, I just want to encourage you that your story is just beginning. You're in the first few chapters of what God has for you. There is so much more that you were created and designed to do. And God brought you to this business for a reason. You have a purpose here. He knows exactly who your next rock stars are going to be that's going to come into your business. They're going to come in and your business is going to explode. He knows that exact time. But guess what? In these times that you're going around this mountain over and over and over again, and you're wondering, why the heck is this still happening to me? Why am I still stuck? Why do I keep losing my rank? Why me? God is trying to get your attention. He wants you to figure this thing out. There's something in this that you need to figure out for you. He's trying to grow your character. He's trying to grow you so that he can give you the team that he wants to entrust to you. At the end of the day, the only thing that's stopping you from getting to that next step is you. So when you stop, pause, get out of your head and thinking about why me, and you just stop and you say, God, what do I need to learn in this season? Why do I keep coming here? What do I need to change to move on to the next level of promotion? It changes. That perspective changes so much. And so anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, but that's really what it is. It ends up being, it's you, it's the heart, it's the character. There's something in you.
Yeah, a lot of times what we see as a problem or a challenge is actually a gift wrapped up in a problem or a challenge. And if we can just have a new perspective and ask that question that Jaree's saying, if we can say, what am I supposed to be learning through this? Because, and trust me, it's not just for you to learn. Yep. It's for you to learn and then for you to teach other people that are in the same situation later. We've been having a lot of calls with a lot of people that are in different places in their mind, in the business and stuff like that. And we've gone through enough stuff where we're able to relate, right? We're able to share, and emotions are emotions. I mean, how many of you, let me just say, raise your hand real quick if you're married, right? So think of the day where you loved your spouse the very, very most and you just felt ooey gooey and all that. And then think of, do you feel like that every single day?
No.
Every single time he walks through the door and he's like, hey, babe, I'm home. And you're like, oh, man, I thought you were going to work a little later today, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's like that. I mean, it's like that in marriage. It's like that. I mean, our own kid, we have 3 kids. We love them to death, but they get on our nerves sometimes. I don't know. Do yours get on your nerves once in a while? You're just like, where'd the Confianza bottle go? I need to take a double dosage today kind of stuff.
Crush it up, right? Snort it with wine.
So that's life. Life is, and if it wasn't for the bad, we wouldn't even know what good looks like, would we? If it wasn't for evil, we wouldn't know what the light side is, right? Like if I went down, and this is more for my man Eric right here. Eric, if you and I went down to the local high school or college football stadium and I had a football and I picked it up in the middle of the field and ran to the end zone, I mean, is that a touchdown? Heck no, that's not a touchdown. I gotta have the 300-pound dudes trying to kill me. I gotta run past like 10, 15 guys that want to smash me. And then that's a touchdown, because it's the struggle that makes it worth it in the end. No struggle, no big deal.
And you know what's interesting, you guys? People, so when you're building and you're doing this attraction marketing and you're talking to people, guess what they relate to? Guess what is going to exponentially grow your businesses? It's your struggle. Because people are going to relate more to your struggle than they do your success. Why do you think that I don't share as much the successes that I've had with this company more than I share where I've come from? Almost everybody I talk to knows that I'm a high school dropout. They know that I struggled with drugs. They know that I was sexually abused. They know ... Why? Because I know at the end of the day, they're going to relate more with my struggle. And then those people are going to say, okay, you've been to hell and back, and I want to know how to get back. They don't want to know how to get to hell, right? They don't. They do not want to know like how you got to hell. They want to know how you got back. So you become an inspiration through your struggle. So get really good at being transparent about you. If there's a place in you that's like, oh, I got to keep this covered up. I don't want to talk about, my past. Well, guess what? You got to get over that. You got to get over that, because your past, that doesn't define you. When you realize that, your past won't be embarrassing
It's actually
anymore.
healing. It's healing.
Very healing
to let it out.
It is.
Because what the devil wants us to think is we're the only one that's gone through it.
Yeah.
When in reality, there's thousands and thousands
many
of people that have gone through the same.
I can't tell you how many people have joined my business because they're like, look, I was sexually abused too. I was in abusive relationships too. I was with men who beat me too. I did drugs too. I was an alcoholic, whatever. They related to my story. So I just want to empower you tonight. I want to empower you to be transparent and to be vulnerable. It's scary. It's a really scary place to be vulnerable. But at the end of the day, I want you to remember that. I want this to sink in. People will relate more with your struggle than they do your success. So whether you're a brand new distributor or you're an ambassador diamond, it doesn't matter. Nobody knows if I say I'm an ambassador diamond to a brand new person, they don't know what that means. That doesn't mean crap to them. So I'm no different than you. But what they relate to is my struggle and how I got out of that and what It Works is doing for me now. And most people that start this business are looking for an extra $300 to $500. So keep that in perspective. You don't have to be at any specific rank in order to have that success story, that struggle story that is showing success.
So that was one question, Jen. Do you have another one?
Sorry, we are bad about getting off on rabbit trails.
No, seriously, you guys are amazing, and I'm pretty sure a couple of girls on my team are bawling right now. So, you guys are just awesome. Let me find my other question that I have. Okay, so I feel like you touched on this already, actually, because, exactly what you guys were saying is everybody signed up when we had this $9.99 deal, and now things are kind of like stalled out. Everybody's kind of feeling like, and this is like the point where everybody's like doubting themselves and all of that. And I feel like you guys really touched on that whole fact. So I hope they got their question answered on that. But let me see. Felicia had a question too about how do you make people work even when you're faking it till you make it by working it and they still aren't doing everything. She's like, I know the answer is new blood, but what if all the new blood that you're talking to just isn't enrolling yet, even after saying that they will place an order? I think you touched on that.
Yeah, it's always just more people, and I mean, we probably sound like a broken record, but it's always,
I was just gonna say
it's always just new distributors, new customers, new fresh people who are looking at this for the first time. And part of it is us guarding our own minds too. And let me talk about this for a second, because part of this is when we join and we see the vision, we just assume everyone else is going to see the vision.
Yeah.
So when people join, I mean, imagine Mark and Pam and all them when the first 3,000 quit, right?
Did you know that? Do you guys realize that? Okay, the first 3,000 people that ever joined It Works, so It Works started in 2001. They had 3,000 people join. And all 3,000 quit. None of them stayed. They all quit.
And they would work for a while, and then they would,
Quit.
the company would get, a little action going, and then boom, disappeared. A little bit more, boop, disappeared. A little bit more, boop. Of course, all they had then was the butt sticker or whatever they called it,
the magic
butt sticker. They didn't have what they have today. But imagine that. So what starts to happen in our own mind is we start to go, wow, why doesn't anyone else see what I see? Am I the only one? And we start signing someone up and going, oh, they'll probably do nothing. Oh, they'll probably do nothing. And so we stop believing in people. So we have to always go back to, is it possible? Is it possible that there's someone else on this planet that might even be more excited about this than I am? Of course it's possible. Is it possible that I can recruit somebody that's going to break all the records that I broke? Of course. And so we have to take every thought captive, right? And when we start having those negative thoughts, we have to say, okay, that's a negative thought. Don't need to be thinking that one. And we got to surround ourselves with other people who think positively too, because expectation is invitation. And there's a Bible verse in Proverbs that there's power of life and death in the tongue. So you have to be very careful who you're listening to, what you're speaking, and you got to make sure every day when you wake up, like my newest thing is I wake up and I go, God, I wonder what miracles you have for me today. That's an expectation. I expect that there's going to be some sort of miracle that happens, some kind of divine appointment that I'm going to run into somebody on accident that's going to be a lifelong friend. And when you walk around, you become like what the Duns talk about as becoming an eternal optimist.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I want to be defined as.
So I actually just talked to one of my VIPs, one of my triple diamonds today about this very subject because she was like, I know I want to make it to Presidential Diamond, but I don't know if my team can make it. Like, I don't know if they can promote so that I can get there. And I said, whoa. I'm like, wait, as leaders, we have to believe in people more than they believe in themselves. If you guys want to grow this business far, you have to get really good at believing in people, even when they don't believe in themselves. We believe in everyone and we count on no one, meaning we believe in them, we believe in their potential, we speak a life into them, but we don't count on them. We continue to work our business, sow the seeds every single day, sign up our own customers and distributors, and go through those motions. But at the end of the day, if you don't believe in the people that you're enrolling in your organization, then who's going to believe in them? You have to speak life. And like Chad said, there's power in death in that tongue. It's so crazy. This is literally what I just talked to her about. I said, you have to start speaking positive things over your team. If you're speaking death to your team and you're saying they're just not going to do it, guess what? They're not going to do it.
That's self-sabotage.
It is.
You're
It's very much so.
your own business. Then.
You have to start speaking life, and you have to speak those thoughts, and they become things. Thoughts become things. You have to start speaking those things out, and you speak that you are an ambassador diamond. Like, I look at each and every one of you on here right now, and I see you all as ambassador diamonds. I know that if me, a high school dropout with a learning disability who had all the cards stacked against her, can do the unthinkable and become an ambassador diamond, then every single one of you are worthy of the same thing. But guess what? If you don't pour that belief into your teams and transfer that belief into your teams, then your teams are never going to go anywhere. They're going to be stuck wherever you believe they're stuck.
So let me give you a real example of this too. So when Jaree and I decided we were going to push hard in 2014 for Ambassador Diamond, right? Jaree was presidential. I went presidential a few months after her in 2013. And so we had the presidential done. But we needed to make 2 triples and 2 doubles all promote for the first time to those ranks simultaneously. Okay? And we had a plan. We thought it would be these guys, triples, and then their doubles would be these and their diamonds would be these. But guess what? Throughout that 90-day run, everything shifted. Some people we thought would be double just became diamonds, and someone else rose up and became the double, and it all shifted. And we had a plan, and we were open to anything happening, but we just knew that we were going to do the best that we could We're going to do everything we knew how to do, spend as many hours a day as we could doing it, run hard. And along the way, it just happened because we were just focused like a laser, like
a heat-seeking
a
missile.
heat-seeking missile, right? You know, a heat-seeking missile, right? It knows where it's going. It'll go around buildings and do whatever to hit whatever it needs to hit. And that was our attitude, and that's how it went. And the same thing, when you guys get locked in like that on the end game and where you want to be and why you want to be there, and it's important enough for you to get there. See, we knew that when we hit these levels that we were going to enjoy it, we were going to have some vacationing, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to be able to do a whole lot of amazing things with the income that it provides us. You know, we've been able to pour back just probably tens of thousands of dollars back in our team in contests and incentives and things like that. Pour so much money into ministries and friends and overseas and trips and stuff like that. And it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. And it all started really with Jaree looking at me and we were diamonds. And Mark said, if you go triple, you get a $25,000 bonus. And she said, is that even possible? And that was where we were sitting there at conference and we had that seed of belief that just started to grow right there. And it just hasn't stopped. It's kept growing and growing and growing. And we're still working on having the belief for Black Diamonds. That's a huge jump. You know, going from ambassador to Black Diamonds, a monster.
And that's a huge struggle for me. It's a huge struggle to believe that fully. But guess what? I have Pam Souter. I have Stephanie Dunn. I have Jade Hooper. I have all these people that I've allowed into my life that are speaking life to me saying, you can do this. Those are the kind of people that you need around you right now, you guys. You need the dreamers. You need the doers. The ones that are saying to, you know, oh, it's not worth it. Oh, look where you are. Look, oh, you've fallen all the way down to diamond. Those are the people you need to stop listening to. You need to get other people around you that are going to lift you up and encourage you. This is so important. Be selective about who your inner circle is. Do not allow people to come in and shit all over your dreams. Excuse my language. Don't do it. It's not okay. It's not okay. Do not let people come in and do that. You have to have people around you that believe in you and encourage you. And if you don't have those people right now, take a look around right now on this Zoom, because there's people right here that are rooting for you. Those are your people. This is your tribe.
You know, one question to ask yourself is why not? Why not you? What is it that what reason could there possibly be why you can't hit the goal that you want to hit? Right? Write them down and figure out what they are, because those are self-imposed limitations. And the cool thing about them being self-imposed limitations is they can be self-removed also. And when you realize that, you take back the power that you have. When you realize that you're the one that placed those limitations in your life that are holding you back from the very thing that you want in your life, when you realize that and you go, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do it because of ... And you realize that you can remove that limitation and you can work, you can change yourself. You can think about new things. You know, we're not ducks. We don't have to fly south for the winter, right? We can wake up tomorrow and say, hey, I'm going to get up earlier. I'm going to go to bed later. I'm going to get on the phone 5 more times with 5 more people than I ever have in my life every single day, starting tomorrow. We can do that. We can change anything we want, right? You can pick up tomorrow and say, hey, we're moving to Timbuktu. You can make whatever decisions that you want to. And that's what's great, because when you identify what's scaring you the most or what you're fearful of the most, and you can pinpoint it and you can remove it, man, that's freeing. That's freeing. That's the day you wake up and you go, oh my gosh, watch out, world, because nothing's going to stop me. Why? Because you can. So figure out what's holding you back and just burn it. Throw it away. Get rid of it. So any more questions? We're at like an hour now, but I mean, my kids are asleep, so, and I don't have to wake up too early tomorrow, so I can go however long.
Oh my gosh, all the hairs on my arms are standing up right now. I have some serious chills. Thank you guys so much. Oh, hold on. Looks like there's another question. Chad, everyone wants to know how you can simply explain the man dare.
So what I like to do is, you guys all hopefully know by now you have a Mandare site. You just go to your normal website, .themandare.com. So you have everything there. There's 3 really, really awesome videos. So any guy that's interested in the Mandare or interested in being challenged or interested in, doing new and fun, exciting things, just send them that first 1-minute teaser. There's like a 1-minute teaser. And it's really good at teasing, which will generate questions, and then you can get into questions. But I think it's it's like anything else. You just have to reach out and see if there's the interest in people. I think guys are looking for something.
Eric, I'm
more.
sorry that you're bored. He keeps yawning.
Oh man,
I'm tired over here. It's 1 o'clock over here.
Oh man. Hey, I gotta shout you out then. That's pretty freaking amazing that you're gonna get on here that late at night. So that's commitment, dude. I always say you're one of my guys. You're so committed. I see you at all of these different events and stuff. So
I swear it's like Woodstock, man. It's like you're following around the what's it called back in the Woodstock days. You're at every event. I'm like, does Eric have like 19 houses all over the country?
Are you coming to Nashville, Eric?
I don't have 19 houses yet. I'll go Black Diamond and I'll have 19 houses. How's that?
Are you coming to Nashville?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
You are? Oh my gosh,
I am,
that's
yes.
exciting. Awesome.
I wanted to go to Jen's in Ventura, but I couldn't. I can't make that one, so.
That's okay. She's happy you're just
bummer.
Going something, huh? What's your initial approach, Chad?
So, like for me, I've been generating lists and lists and lists of Army guys that I know, and just to reaching out and catching up with them, and just saying, hey, do you keep your income options open? Are you ever looking for extra? Are you open to make money in new ways? Yes or no? I'm talking to one guy right now who's in the Army with, and he's really close to enrolling. I think I've enrolled like 7 or 8 guys that I was in the Army with so far, and since the Mandare started. And it's always the same. It's just finding people who want something to change in their life. And I just know there's so many that do. So.
Do you keep just opens the door? Most guys are going to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can show them the video and move that way.
Yep.
Hopefully that's helpful. I need to ask on the ambassador page just to see if there's any specific avenues that some of the ambassadors are using for that. And then if I do find anything, I'll post it in the Black Diamond team page for you guys.
Yeah, John Alcala did a really, really good online party too.
Oh yeah, we can.
And I've got it somewhere.
We can put that link in the Black Diamond team page, and then that'll be really good because that has a lot of different ways to approach this with your guys. So.
Yeah, and if you just add a guy to it, and the guy actually goes through and watches like the 6, 2 to 3 minute videos and reads the stuff, they're going to be very. I mean, Dominique Edison's on there. He's a former NFL player. Thomas Hughes is on there, and there's another guy. It's like a semi-pro golfer that's on there. Pastor's on there. I'm on there. I get to jump into the pool. That was fun.
Anyway, we love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out tonight. We love hanging out with you guys, and hopefully some of what we said stuck a little. Hopefully it moved you and you realize that you are so worthy. You're worthy of all that God has for you. And sometimes these mountains that we keep bumping up against going around are the very thing that we need so that we can become the person that God's calling you to be, so that you can weather the weight of this next promotion. Because to whom much is given, much is required. So God's just molding you and shaping you so that you can handle the weight of what your heart's desire is. You've got to be ready for it, because He doesn't want, at the end of the day, He loves you so much that He doesn't want the weight of that promotion to crush you. So you're there for a purpose. It's not because He doesn't love you. It's because He's a mean God. It's because He's got you there because you need to learn something, because He doesn't want the weight of the promotion that's coming to crush you. Remember that. We love you guys.
Jim Rohn, I'll leave you with one more Jim Rohn quote, right?
His
Can't forget about Jim Rohn. You know, I never met the guy, but I talk about him a lot. So Jim Rohn says that every person should set a goal to become a millionaire. And not for the money, but for the person it will make of you to achieve it. Because once you become that person, you can make the million and you can give it away. But the skills that you've developed, the character that you've built, means that it's going to be easy to get another million and another million.
Yes.
So work hard on your business, work hard on your job, work hard on everything, but work the hardest on yourself.
Yep.
Because that's the best investment that you can ever make. So hope this helped you guys.
We love
Have an awesome
you.
night.
Thanks
Love
for
y'all.
having us. Bye.